Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Boom Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. I'm so grateful that you guys are listening and watching and subscribing. I appreciate the support immensely. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about dreams and dream analysis. I am a major proponent and a devotee of dreams and analyzing dreams in order to figure out what your subconscious is trying to tell you. I am fascinated by the dream world. I love sleeping, not only because I get to rest and that's awesome, but also because I get to dream. And the more I remember my dreams, as with intuition, the more you use your intuition, the more powerful it becomes. The more I remember my dreams or try to remember my dreams, the more I can remember my dreams. And so I have this tendency or this policy, as much as possible, I follow this, where I will wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is I will go through my dreams. Whatever they were, how many ever they were, I will either go through them in my head, so kind of visualize what happened. I went here and I did this, etc. Or I'll actually write them down if they're really important to me, or I'll do a voice memo to myself. I'll record a voice memo on my phone telling myself what the dream was like. Now, this is really important for me because I've noticed, as I said, the more I remember my dreams and I do this act of going through them and remembering them and kind of analyzing them, the more dreams I remember, the more aspects of the dreams I remember, the more vivid my dreams get, the clearer they become, and the less symbolic they become, the symbols become clearer to understand, right? And so the more I analyze my dreams, I am able to make all these connections to my psyche and to my life and the stuff that I'm doing that I wouldn't have been able to make otherwise. In the past, when I would say in my late 20s or early 20s, in my 20s in general, I did not remember my dreams at all. Now, a lot of it had to do with the fact that I was not sleeping well and I wasn't eating well or taking care of myself. And also, I used to drink alcohol back then. And that meant that as soon as you drink alcohol, it suppresses any kind of dream waves that you might have. So alcohol means no dreams, right? If you're even having a glass of wine, you're not going to dream that night as much as possible, right? Unless the alcohol's left your system before you fall asleep. The alcohol has a tendency to depress the nervous system and also depress dream waves. Any kind of dream analysis that you want to do is not going to happen if you're drunk, and also if you're high. So a lot of times certain drugs, I don't know exactly all the ones that are involved in it, but certain drugs will also prohibit or inhibit dream activity. So in general, as soon as I cleaned up my life as much as possible, so I cleaned up all the caffeine that I used to drink, the sugar that I used to eat as much as possible, the meat I used to eat, and then the alcohol I used to drink, and any sort of pharmacological drugs that I used to take, like Tylenol or anything like that. As soon as I started cleaning up all of that one by one, I noticed that my dream states at night became more vivid and more specific and also more detailed. I mean, I go into my dreams sometimes nowadays and I think to myself, this is a movie. I'm watching a movie right now and it's so clear. Even after I wake up in the morning, sometimes you'll wake up in the morning and you've dreamt and you know that you've dreamt because you remember certain smidgens of it, but you don't actually remember what it was all about. And almost instantaneously, as soon as you wake up and you're awake and alert, the dream completely disappears from your psyche. It's as if you never even dreamed. You're just like, what? Wait, I just remembered it. I knew I just had it in my head. Where did it go, right? Now I notice as I go through this process of recording my dreams and really focusing on them, that even an hour or 2 hours later, that dream that I had will be extremely vivid and clear in my head still. A lot of it has to do with the fact that maybe perhaps part of it is lucid dreaming. So I am actually lucid and awake while I'm dreaming. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm able to remember it because it's not just dreaming, but it's lucid dreaming. But a lot of it also has to do with the fact, as I said, it's about practice. The more I pay attention to my dreams, the more I write them down, the more I analyze them, the more I share them with other people and tell them, what do you think about this, or ask them questions about it based on what they know about me, the more I realize that my dreams are becoming as a source of information for me more so than before. Right? I know you can journal and you'll get information about yourself that way. You can reflect on yourself, you can meditate, you can do TRE. You know, there's so many different factions, or so many different things you could do out there in the world, so many healing modalities you can take upon yourself in order to learn more about yourself, in order to grow that self-knowledge that we're all trying to grow. But for me specifically, in this moment in time, as I do this video and in this time, I notice that dream analysis has become a major component of my daily ritual. Now, I'm not saying that I analyze every single dream. Sometimes I'll have 2 or 3 or even 4 dreams in a night, and I notice that that's way too much information sometimes. What I usually do, as I've said before, is I'll wake up in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I usually have a notebook right by my bedside. So even if in the middle of the night I'll wake up and I have this dream that's so powerful, I'll write it down. So a notebook is always crucial. It's always by my bedside. No matter where I go, no matter where I travel to, even if I'm in a hostel, I'll have a small notebook by my bedside all the time. It's one of those non-negotiables for me. So as soon as I wake up, if I remember the dream, if it's in the middle of the night or if it's early in the morning or whenever it is, I'm awake, I write down the dream or I do a voice memo for myself, depending on how long the dream is. Now, sometimes a dream is pretty simple and you know exactly what it's trying to tell you, right? Maybe it's a closed door and you're trying to open it and you're opening it and trying to wedge yourself against it and you're hitting yourself against it, but it does not open. And you realize what it's all about depending on what you're going through in your daily ritual. Perhaps you're trying to get into a job role, or you had an interview, or you're afraid about this relationship and you're trying to get into it, or you're trying to make it happen, but it's not happening. And that's what it's related to. And it's very simple and you're able to understand it right away, right? Other times it's a little bit more symbolic, it's a little bit more complicated. Your brain is such a powerful device, and I feel that dreams can be so convoluted and complex, and that's why I love them, is because they're not just giving you the answers straight away. They're not saying, oh, this is what your answer is, or this is what you were searching for. Sometimes it does happen that way, and you've probably heard of writers or other creative people that have had dreams that have given them the answers they were looking for, right? That's why napping or sleeping in general is a really important activity to do when you're a creative individual, especially napping, because you can have a problem that you're working on in your head, you go take a quick nap, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and you come back out of it knowing or having an answer or solution to what you were searching for. That's how powerful dreaming and sleeping can be for that. I've really been trying to nap more as much as possible, but you know, it's just my INFJ quality and my Virgo quality and my personality that has a hard time resting, and so it's like a push to me. It's like, unless I'm exhausted, I have a really hard time napping. And so you'll notice that, as I said, I will notice that sometimes my dreams are really intricate, and so what I need to do is I need to write all of it down, or I need to do a voice memo, and then for a few minutes after that, after I've written it down or after I've kind of understood parts of it, I will sit down and analyze what it's trying to tell me. Not every dream has a message for you. Some dreams are just the creation of an anxious, tired mind. And I noticed that those days that I spend way too much time working and not enough time walking or exercising or taking care of myself, and I'm over anxious, my mind's creating all these convoluted ideas that don't really mean anything except that it's trying to tell me that I need to rest more and less and work less. Some days, obviously, though, I will look at the dream and I'll sit there and reflect on it, and I'll get all these insights from it, perhaps based on past trauma, or perhaps based on a past relationship I had, or perhaps based on a past job that I had. For example, this morning when I was doing this video I realized I want to do a dream video because I was analyzing my dream and it was so interesting. I'll give you a quick snippet of what the dream was about. As you guys might know, if you watched my videos from the past, last year I worked on a yoga resort on an island in Thailand down south for a few months. And it was one of my dream jobs. I was ecstatic when I received this gift from the universe. I could not believe that I could be so lucky. But as time went on, I realized that you have to be careful what you wish for, because a lot of times the things that you receive in the form of these gifts are sometimes you imagine them to be a certain way, and you realize when you actually receive it that it's completely different, right? And so the job actually turned out to be different from what I imagined it to be, and the situation I was in was different from what I imagined it to be. And I realized that I was not a fit for that role. I spent eons, and I would say like hours and hours, crying over this fact internally and externally, because I thought that this was it. This was my dream job. I was going to do it for the rest of my life. I thought that this was my dream place and I was going to live there forever. I thought that these were my dream tribe and I was going to be with them forever. And as time went on, I realized more and more that that was not the case, right? And that was exactly what the dream delineated for me. It was a gilded cage. It was golden and beautiful, and I had this imagination about it, but it turned out to be completely not true. And as soon as I had a dream and I woke up in the morning, my first thought was, oh my God, do I miss that place? Is that why I'm dreaming of it? But then I realized as I analyzed it that this was the message, that it was a golden cage, a golden handcuff. And you have to be careful what you wish for, because you might just get it, and then all of your delusions or illusions of that person or that place or that item are going to fall to the ground, and you're going to sit there thinking, oh my God, I can't believe that I wanted this so badly, because this is not what is suitable for me at all, right? Now, the good thing obviously is that at least you tried. At least I tried that place, I did it, and I know now what it's all about. And that's what life is all about, trial and error. But it's just great when I can have these dreams that just pop up out of nowhere, and they give me all this information, this useful information. And analysis really leads to more and more knowledge. The more I analyze my dreams, the more I learn about myself. And also I learn about what my unconscious mind is really worried about, or what it's concerned about, or what is it focused on. I notice that I have similar dreams over and over again, and that makes me realize, what is it that I actually think about all the time? What is my mind anxious about? What am I focused on? And that in itself is a great piece of self-knowledge that I would take to the grave with me. I hope that this makes sense to you guys. I hope that if you guys are already dream analysis or doing analysis on your dream, I hope that it's helping you guys. There are obviously lots of dictionaries out there that you can use, but for me, I found that a lot of it is not relevant to my own personality and my own situation. So a lot of the analysis that I do in my dreams is based on personal experience. And what am I going through right now? What was a day like? What kind of trauma do I have? What kind of life experience do I have? I base my dream analysis on all of that, rather than typical dream journals or dream dictionaries. Not that you can't use those. If you guys have any questions about this video topic or any other topics at all, please message me anytime. All of my contact information is in the description below, or you can comment below. I reply to all comments. I read and reply to all comments. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.